Now, answering your questions about the law and legal issues. This is Legal Break with attorney Gary Bruce.
Hello there and welcome. Welcome, Gary. Good to see you this week.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Yes, we have a question. We're going to jump right into it. Gary, how does a jury know how much to award for pain and suffering?
Another good question. Yeah. And so it's really subjective and it's not defined anywhere. I have seen, and getting ready for today, I actually went online and did some searches, and I found lawyer websites that said you multiply your economic losses, that is medical bills and lost earnings, times a factor like 3 or 5 or
just
some number. Yeah. And then said that was okay to use, which is preposterous. Yeah. So it's, I guess it's sometimes used by insurance companies, but it doesn't reflect what the law is. The law will never tell you to do that. The law says we compensate for what's taken. So it's biblical, back to Deuteronomy and the laws. You know, this is, we pay for what damage we do to someone else, the damage we do to their property or their body. So how do you define that? Well, it is not just a factor of a medical bill. That's the tip of the iceberg sometimes. So it does take more than just a multiple.
Well, does the law provide any guidelines to help the jury decide?
Yeah, good question. That's what we were hoping for. Yeah, it does. So in Georgia and Alabama and really every state, there's a lot of factors to take into account, and they're not just the medical bills or lost earnings. It's confinement, it's lack of ability to do the activities you love, its impact on your ability to do your profession or what you enjoy doing as in your work. You know, if you're unable now to drive a tractor, that's compensable on top of not earning a living, you know, because that's part of who we are. So there's a litany of lists, but the impairment to your bodily function, the interference with your normal living, interference with your enjoyment of life are all factors that a jury or a judge considers or is supposed to consider when looking at damages and calculating damages. Okay. So when it comes to the end of a trial, or even just trying to assess a value of a case if you don't go to trial, you look at these factors. What proof do I have? What evidence do I have that shows how my life has been impacted? And then that is what really should be taken into account in trying to figure out how do we compensate someone for the damage.
Yeah, so case by case basis, and definitely not just one simple factorial.
There is no one quick answer.
No.
Right. Everybody's situation, my pinky impacts my life none, but a professional player of some sport, yes.
Thank you, Gary. We'll see you on the next Legal Break.